financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is COVID-19 prioritization and preservation. Brian Small, good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Jeffrey Linden.
Good morning, Ken.
Pat Simasco.
We're here.
All right, so last week we said we need a survival plan. We left off, we said we need to prioritize cash and preservation of cash as a way of getting through it. We covered that in brief at the end, but that's the crux of what we need to accomplish, so I really want to explore it today. Where do we find the money? If the government eliminates the penalty for early withdrawals in IRAs and 401ks, they haven't said it yet, but I'm guessing that's going to happen. Should you take the money?
That's a tough one because, again, you got to pay your bills and you have to put food on the table. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it slow. I'm going to do it slow, and I'm going to bet you not only they're going to suspend that 10% early withdrawal penalty for under 59 and a half, they're going to tell seniors that they don't have to take out the required minimum distribution. I'm going to bet that because that's what they did in 2008. Because if you're pulling out when the market's down, you don't have the money in the market to go back up again. So pull it out slow.
So that measure is to encourage them to leave the money in.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would encourage people to leave their money in too. Whether or not you've rebalanced, whatever you've done to protect your money inside of your 401k, whether you decided to change it all into bond funds or put it into cash within the IRA, here's the one thing you should never do. If we're going to be incurring debt to survive at the moment, don't expose an asset that can't be touched by a creditor. It can't ever be touched. Not by Visa, not by MasterCard, American Express, Discover.
What do you mean?
When you get sued...
I know what you mean, but what do you mean?
When you get sued for not paying your bills because you ran out of money, and this happens every day, the one asset that you can be...
Or if I have to file bankruptcy.
Or if you have to file bankruptcy, the one asset that you can be assured that you can protect is your 401k, your IRA. The creditor
so are you suggesting,
can't get to it.
Let me just see if I understand what you're suggesting. You're suggesting that I should leave the money in the 401k and the IRA, and then when I don't pay my bills and I file bankruptcy, I get to keep that money for myself.
Yes.
Okay, but what about my obligation to try and pay my bills?
I have to
shouldn't I take that money and pay my bills first?
I got to jump in here, though. Most of our seniors are on fixed income, and they're going to be fine because they're used to living on that monthly Social Security, and a few of them have pensions left. If mom and dad die, and remember our last shows, if the kids inherit the IRA, it's a beneficiary IRA, it loses all the protection.
Yes, it does. An inherited IRA
That's when we need the trust
protection.
Agreements before mom and dad pass away to protect that.
Estate planning issue that goes with that. But I was kidding, but here, go back to your mom and dad.
Yeah.
Your mom and dad who don't have enough cash coming in because your mom and dad have credit card debt, and for some reason they're old school. They keep taking the money out of their IRA and they pay their credit cards. And they'll keep doing that till there's $11 left in the bank, and then they'll go, oh my God, all our retirement is gone. And I'm always sitting there saying, don't do that. You shouldn't be using that money, which just goes to what you're saying. Is the bottom line is you're saying don't use the 401k money, keep it there, preserve it. So how am I going to pay my bills?
Well, you're going to pay your bills.
I don't have a paycheck coming.
Right. So you're going to borrow money.
Are you loaning me the money?
The credit no, I'm not loaning you the money because I'm the same person looking for the money too.
Where am I going to get the money from?
Getting it from your home equity loan if you can take one.
So give away all the equity in my house. Isn't that the same as throwing away my 401k?
No, it's not. Because a home equity line can be paid back over 30 years, one. Two, Also, you're drawing against your credit cards, cash advances, and utilizing your credit cards while you still have them.
Oh wait, are you saying credit cards or home equity line? Which should I use?
I'm saying if you have a home equity line, and I said this the last show, you need to draw down the line and pull all the money out of it and stick it in the bank. That's one.
Now, you said to do that because that eliminates the risk of the bank cutting off the equity line if real estate values fall.
Correct.
You're not saying to use the money.
No, don't use that money.
I want to make sure everyone understands it. So you're saying take the money, stash it, don't use it.
Correct.
You're saying don't use the 401k.
I'm saying
I'm asking,
slowly.
okay, I've taken I had a home equity loan, I've stashed the money, my 401k that's worth 2/3 of what it was, I'm not taking it. I don't have a job. What am I going to pay bills with, guys?
Visa and MasterCard, American Express and Discover.
Okay, I have credit cards.
So,
but you told me don't use credit cards. You have to pay them off every month. Interest is financial cancer.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. This is a matter of preserving yourself. You need to do whatever it takes to make sure there's food on your table and that your rent is paid or your mortgage is paid, to keep your roof over your head.
Wait, so what you just said, you have to be careful because that's may lend to the hysteria that's going on. Are we in? Wait. If your home equity loan is 5% interest and a credit card is 19% interest or something like that, and you plan on paying them back, draw down on the home equity loan.
You hit on the big issue. Do you plan on paying them back?
Well, and again, it's not. Are we at the level of where there's a 8-hour line at Bass Pro Shop to buy guns? I don't think we're at that level with our society.
What it comes down to, though, is everybody's situation is going to be different. Everybody's situation is going to be different, and you need advice, and you need somebody to look at your situation and help you pick out and how to prioritize what you have. Maybe your situation is you don't have credit card availability or equity in your home and you have to do something else. Maybe you do. You're going to prioritize differently depending on your situation.
Let me paint a scenario and talk about it. We're coming up to the break. Okay. I have equity in the house, so I've stashed that money. I have a 401k. I don't want to tap it. I have available credit. I'm short on cash flow, and I'm going to ramp my credit cards up to $100,000. And those are at 20% interest. I don't want to pay that 20% interest. We're going to come back from the bank and say, what do we do in that scenario?
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP.
I love you too. Bye-bye. That was Jerry. Emma just said her first word.
Oh.
Jerry says hello and they'll be over soon.
Who's Jerry? Is he a friend of yours?
No. This Jerry. Our Jerry. And this is his wife and their little girl.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
Okay, we're right on this credit card issue. So, what did you just say? Everyone's intention is to pay. I don't know if I'm going to pay the money back or not.
The argument here was to take the equity line because it's cheaper money than the credit card because it's everybody's intention is to pay the bill back, and the bills to pay the credit cards back are higher. And you know what I'm saying? I understand that. That makes logical sense in a logical world. We're not in a logical world anymore.
We are in a logical world.
We are not in a logical world. We are in a world where everybody who works in a restaurant or hospitality industry is out of work.
Your social distancing. I'm keeping my social distancing.
Yeah.
And right now, all of those people work on tips.
But if I
and they live on the fact that, wait, let me finish.
if I have a $3,000 a month budget, do I need to pull out $300,000 out of my home equity loan, and I have to pull out $30,000 out of my credit card?
But you're
debt?
worried that the home equity line will be tapped out.
Yeah, but you
because
pull
if
out.
real estate values go down, they'll trim the available.
I don't think we're in the housing bubble like we were before.
But we don't know. We are not today in a bubble.
See,
that's
everybody
understand
currently
what you're
believes
saying.
this is going to last 2-3 weeks and the restaurants are going to open back up. And yet, everything I'm reading about schools are that the school systems are going to be closed for the end of the year. So now you've got
Which
every
is a
parent.
month.
No, it's
2
till
months.
June.
April, May.
Yeah, well, how many people can sit at home and not work? How many without having some source of income? The resources that are available out there may be trimmed back. So the question is what do you need to do? It is individual to the individual. Everybody has their own crisis plan.
I have to
But
put that up on the monitor.
But you have to be careful when you
individual.
say that we're in the crisis that we're in. Are you saying go pull out $300,000 of your home equity loan and then go pull out $30,000 of your credit card debt?
Most people don't have $300,000 of equity in their home
True.
equity loan. But if you've got $40,000
Now
of
that's
equity,
a different story.
Then put out. But here's where I'm focused on. We've spent so much time focusing on retirement planning, simple retirement planning. Own your house free and clear, have zero debt, have cash in the bank.
Right.
You're in your 50s and your 60s, you're on that plan, and now we get hit with this pandemic and it's throwing a wrench in everything. What I don't want to see happen, I don't want it to happen to me, I don't want it to happen to you guys or anyone else out there. I don't want you to take your resources in this pandemic or your retirement resources, your equity in your home and your retirement money, and use that to get by. And then at the end of it, yes, you've paid Visa and MasterCard all their money, you've paid back the equity line, but you're now 70 and you have zero equity in your house and you have no retirement money to live on.
We all get that.
We don't want that.
If you have the job to go back to, most people will have the job to go back. You'll have a job to go back to. You'll have a job. Most people in the end will have jobs to go back to. So you can't hoard all your cash and you can't hoard all your credit card cash and you can't liquidate everything because then you're setting yourself for failure when you do go back.
Wait.
Take a breather, what you just said.
Depends how you
Take a
define
breather.
failure. Is it a better outcome to borrow on your credit cards and your home equity line $100,000, $150,000 to get through this and pay all that money back? Or is it a better outcome at the end if you owe Visa and MasterCard $150,000 and you settle with them by doing debt resolution when we get at the end of this crisis, and you settle with them for $50,000? Are you better off being $100,000 ahead, or are you better using the $150,000?
It depends if that.
To me, the answer comes to this: oh, but my credit score is going to go down if I don't pay them all the money back. I will sell my credit score to anybody who wants to give me $100,000.
If that credit card debt that you're settling for 50 cents on the dollar is the interest rate that they racked up through the roof.
Of course it is.
Well,
it's
then
29%.
you better then pull it out of your home equity loan at that point. If you plan on paying it back.
But now I don't have the equity in the house. I have to pay it back if I take it on the equity line because I can't settle on the equity line. They won't settle with you.
If you have jobs and work that you're going to be going back to, are you saying for me, I have a job. I should go rack up $100,000 in credit card debt.
No, probably not for you. But what about the person who's close to retirement and doesn't have the job to go back to?
That's a different question, but you can't say a blanket statement for everybody out there.
No, absolutely. Wait a minute. I just said
it's
individual to the individual.
Yes, but you're saying, you're absolutely right. It's individual to the individual.
So everybody needs to have their own crisis plan.
Yes.
Your plan might be that you're not going on vacation for the next 6 months. Okay.
Well,
his plan.
I think that's everybody's plan at this point.
Well, truly, but
whether you
his
like
plan.
it or not.
Jeff's plan might be that not only is he not going to restaurants that aren't open, but he's not getting takeout for the next whatever, and he's going to make every meal at home. Bob's plan, who is in the hospitality industry and is currently out of work and will be out of work for the next 6 to 8 weeks, who lives paycheck to paycheck, Bob's plan has to be different.
We got that. Right.
And
so here's the question. How do you figure out your plan? Individualized plan. How do you figure out that plan? Who do you call? What do you talk? Do you call Brian up? Do you call Ken up? Do you call Pat up?
Okay, so I'm going to step up here and say, yes, you call me, because I and we specialize in dealing with financial crisis. It's what we've been on the air for the last 18 years.
It's a question of prioritizing, and what we bring to the table is the Goodyear blimp looking down on the situation with objectiveness.
And it's gone through it for
the person out there sits there saying,
so
I have to pay back the credit cards, I can't borrow the money and not pay it. We're going to sit there and say, well, maybe you want to pay. Everybody wants to pay everybody back, but what you have to do is, what's the end goal? The end goal is to get through this crisis, to be in the best financial. First of all, the short-term goal is to get through the crisis, and the end goal is to get through the crisis in the best possible situation you can. It's not going to be, you're not going to grow your portfolio during this time. The end goal is to make the best of a difficult situation. We'll take a break, and then we'll wrap it up.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. I want to remind our viewers to listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, Tuesdays 10 a.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m., and on KISS 105.9, Sundays 7 o'clock a.m. These are difficult times, and the environment is changing daily. Sign up on our website for our news blasts. As events transpire, we will inform and email you with the latest news, particularly as it applies to Michiganders dealing with the crisis. We have made changes at THAV GROSS. People can still come in and meet at the present time, but video conferencing is also available. We are not doing seminars because we cannot do gatherings, but instead we will be doing webinars. We have webinars coming up where you can stay in your home, attend our webinar via the internet, ask questions while you watch. We have 2 webinars scheduled. The first one is called Your COVID-19 Financial Survivor Strategy. It is going to air at 2 times, on Wednesday, April 15th from 6 to 7:30 p.m., or Saturday, April 18th from 9:30 to 11. Sign up by hitting thavgross.com or Law and Reality. When the time comes, you will click on the link and you will be live with Brian and myself covering your COVID-19 financial survivor strategy. We'll look at how to prioritize the critical decisions you must make in choosing between undesirable options, how to position yourself so that when this ends, you recover and excel going forward. We'll learn the available programs and options as the crisis unfolds. Attendees will also receive a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Again, sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Our second webinar is called Necessary Estate Planning Steps in View of COVID-19. It will be offered at 2 times as well, Wednesday, April 29th, 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m., Saturday, May 2nd, 9:30 to 11 a.m. You sign up at thavgross.com or lawandreality.com. At the time of the webinar, you will click the link and be connected with Brian and myself live. You can send in questions and we will respond to you live on the internet. We're going to look at all the issues that are triggered for estate planning as a result of the coronavirus. We will also cover the new IRA laws that came into effect in 2019, how to protect your assets for you and your children in view of financial distress. Attendees will receive a $300 gold certificate off the cost of any estate plan. Again, you want to sign up at thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation. Free consultations now will sometimes be on the phone. They can be over the internet via video conferencing, or if available, you'll be able to come into the office. Call 888-235-HELP or go online to sign up at lawandreality.com or thavgross.com. We will abide by all social distancing protocols and make available to you the opportunity to consult via the phone or web conferencing. Remember, debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business issues, elder law issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeff Kirshner. Take advantage of it. Sign up. This is a time where you need advice. It's available. Consultations are free. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Samasco Law, Jeff Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Okay, we're back. And remember, we're going to be on this next week as well. But let me hit you some questions. I didn't pay my rent. The landlord starts an eviction. Can that happen? Are they allowed to evict me?
Well, currently, evictions are still proceeding. There are certain evictions that are going to be terminated and won't proceed forward in various counties. It's going to be a county-by-county issue at this moment.
A lot of the courts are closed down now. You can't even get in. But the new norm is going to be, there's going to be a lot more video court stuff. A lot more video.
So
they're doing it now.
We don't know if the landlord can start the eviction. You don't know if there's going to be a hearing date. But I do know this. If there is a hearing date and they get a judgment of possession and the law hasn't changed, then you're in big trouble. How would you stop that from happening?
Well, the biggest benefit you have if you're facing an eviction is to file a Chapter 13 before that judgment of possession occurs.
Okay, so that's not an eviction. If I was being foreclosed on my house.
Again, you must file a Chapter 13 before the date of the sheriff's sale. These things, once you get past the hearing, past the sheriff's sale, you've lost.
All right, reality check if you're watching. Okay, we don't know to the extent the laws are going to be changed, the governor's going to suspend the ability for creditors to take action against you. We don't know what's going to unfold, but we do know this. We know what the normal rules are, and unless there's an exception as a result of this, you need to take action. So if you get served with eviction papers or you get notice of a foreclosure, don't rely on what you're just seeing in the news as a means of saying, I'm protected. Call us, call an attorney, make sure you get the proper advice because you may need that Chapter 13.
You know what's going to happen is while this huge crisis is going on and the fever of the crisis is going on, we're just trying to get through it. And then when we get through it, it's going to calm down. We're going to see the fallout.
I'm a
and what's
businessman.
going to take to get us back going.
I'm running my business. The bank calls my loan. I have a secured loan with, it could be Comerica, it could be whatever bank it is. I'm not picking on any one banks because hopefully the banks are going to work with the public and the community sector to get through this, and we are not going to have a repeat of what happened in 2008 through 2010. Hopefully people learn their lesson, but the point is that you made on a recently, people don't learn their lesson.
They forget.
But if the bank calls your loan, what do?
Well, one, you're going to certainly try to work it out with the bank. If you can't work it out
Usually
with
when
the
they
bank,
call the loan, it's hard to work it out.
true,
Are you talking
but
about a person or a company?
companies.
Company now.
So but you have some new legal tools that are available. Previously, Chapter 11 was very, very expensive and didn't really work for most small businesses. Now we have a new small business Chapter 11 procedure that has just gone into place in the fourth quarter of 2019 that is probably your savior if you're a small business.
So there's this new small business Chapter 11.
Yes, it's called Subchapter 5 of Chapter 11.
So that's a new tool that happened. Fortunately, came down at the end of 2019,
really
right?
actually became effective in the middle of February of this year.
Okay, so there's remedies. So the point is, if you get into that situation, you need to look for advice and for assistance. Let me throw out the next one. I'm using the credit cards, but I haven't taken the cash advances because I can't even stomach the thought of taking a cash advance and locking in a 29% interest rate on money. I've been using the credit cards, I've been making the minimum payments, and all of a sudden I get the letter from the credit card company saying they're trimming my available credit to $1 more than I currently owe them. What do I do then?
Well, you've got to investigate and assess your personal budget, whether or not, based on the income you have coming in and the expenses going out, can you still afford to make your credit card payments? If the answer is no, you're going to take a dramatic step, and you're going to draw a line in the sand.
I'm going to tell you what I would do in that situation. That would be the one time that I would take my foot and kick it through the door for not having taken the cash advances.
Okay.
Then I'd be mad at myself. That's how difficult the situation is. You don't want to take the cash advances because you don't want to have to pay that interest rate and you don't know what to do, and you're hoping that they're not going to take your available credit. But if they take your available credit and you have no cash in the bank, you have no money. I'm of the belief that everything else, whatever the solution is, you have to have cash available to yourself. That's my advice to you.
And I will tell you, whatever the solution
How much
is, you
cash?
need to get the right advice and have an analysis done of
3
your
months.
situation.
3 months, 6 months. Let's do normal is
6.
3 months. So let's say 6 months. So that's 25,000.
There you go. 25,000 is our number for now. We'll revise it next week. Have a great week. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week.